Alright, so in this video, I'm going to solve an interesting exponential equation. So my equation is 100 to the power of x is equal to 400. And I want to find the value of x. So we see that x is going to be in between 1 and 2 because 100 to the power of 1 is 100 and 100 to the power of 2 is 10,000. So it's going to be more closer to 1 than it is 2, but it's going to be somewhere in the range of 1 and 2. So to solve this, what I'm going to be using is logarithms. So I'm going to first start by taking the log on both sides. So I get log 100 to the power of x is equal to log 400. And if I have something in the form log a to the power of b, I can move this exponent of b to the front, so I get b times log a. In this case, I have log 100 to the power of x. I can move x to the front, so I get x times log 100 is equal to log 400. Now, I'm going to take the log of base 100. So, log base 100 of 100 is just 1. And log base 100 of 400, well, 400 is the same thing as 100 times 4. So I can rewrite this as log base 100 of 100 times 4, which is equal to log of 4 over log of 100. And I have 1 plus this because of this. So now log of 4 is the same thing as log of 2 squared. And log of 100 is the same thing as log of 10 squared. So I can move the 2 to the front and the 2 to the front over here. So I get x is equal to 1 plus 2 log 2 over 2 log 10. These two cancel out, so I get x is equal to 1 plus log 2 over log 10, which is equal to 0.301. So x is equal to 1.301. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to solve the equation x to the power of 12 minus 1 is equal to 0. So to solve this, I'm going to first rewrite this as x to the power of 6 to the power of 2 minus 1 squared is equal to 0. And the reason I'm doing this is so I can use the property a squared minus b squared is equal to a plus b times a minus b. So this turns into x to the power of 6 plus 1 times x to the power of 6 minus 1 is equal to 0. So this gives me two equations. I get x to the power of 6 plus 1 equals 0, and x to the power of 6 minus 1 equals 0. Now I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to rewrite x to the power of 6 minus 1 equals 0 as x to the power of 3 to the power of 2 minus 1 squared is equal to 0. So I can use this property again and get x to the power of 3 plus 1 times x to the power of 3 minus 1 is equal to 0. Now, for x to the power of 3 minus 1 equals 0, I'm going to rewrite this as x to the power of 3 minus 1 to the power of 3 equals 0, so I can use the property a to the power of 3 minus b to the power of 3 is equal to a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. So this turns into a minus b times a squared plus a plus 1 is equal to 0. this turns into x minus 1 times x squared plus x plus 1 is equal to 0, which gives me yet another two equations. So now I have x minus 1 equals 0 and x squared plus x plus 1 equals 0. So for x minus 1 equals 0, all I have to do is add 1 on both sides, and I get x is equal to 1. And for x squared plus x plus 1 equals 0, I can use the quadratic formula. So by using it, I get x is equal to negative 1 plus or minus the square root of 3i over 2. So these are two more solutions. And now we aren't done yet because we also have to solve these. So now I have x to the power of 3 plus 1 is equal to 0. And I'm going to subtract 1 on both sides, so I get x to the power of 3 is equal to negative 1, meaning x is also equal to negative 1. So this is another solution. Now for x to the power of 6 plus 1 equals 0, I'm going to again subtract 1 on both sides. So I get x to the power of 6 is equal to negative 1. And if I take the 6th root, I get x is equal to 6th root of negative 1, which is equal to negative 1 to the power of 1 over 6. So now, the 6th root of negative 1 is, say, we know that I is equal to the square root of negative 1, which is equal to negative 1 to the power of 1/2. So negative 1 to the power of 1 over 6 is the same thing as negative 1 to the power of 1/2 minus something. So now 1 over 6, or I should say 1/2 minus 1 over 6 is equal to 1 over 3. So 1 over 6 plus 1 over 3 is equal to 1/2. We know this, meaning we have negative 1 to the power of 1 over 6 and this plus, or sorry, 1 over 2 minus 1 over 3 is what we can rewrite 1 over 6 as. Now, this is the same thing as 1/2 plus negative 1 over 3. And if I have something in the form a to the power of m plus n, this is equal to a to the power of m times a to the power of n. So this is going to equal negative 1 to the power of 1/2 times negative 1 to the power of negative 1 over 3. Negative 1 to the power of 1/2 is the square root of negative 1, which is equal to I. So we get I times negative 1 to the power of negative 1 over 3, which is the same thing as 1 over negative 1 to the power of 1 over 3, which is equal to negative 1. So I get I times negative 1, which is equal to negative I, which is my final solution.